Welcome to another A Course in Miracles, lesson number 39. Get on the right page. My holiness is my salvation. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? Like the other texts for which this workbook was written, the ideas used for the exercises are very simple, very clear and totally unambiguous. We are not concerned with intellectual feats nor logical toys. We are dealing only in the very obvious, which has been overlooked in the clouds of complexity in which you think you think. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? This is not difficult, surely. The hesitation you may feel in answering is not due to the ambiguity of the question. But do you believe that guilt is hell? If you did, you would see at once how direct and simple the text is, and you would not need a workbook at all. No one needs practice to gain what is already his. We have already said that your holiness is the salvation of the world. What about your own salvation? You cannot give what you do not have. A Saviour must be saved. How else can he teach salvation? Today's exercises will apply to you, recognizing that your salvation is crucial to the salvation of the world. As you apply the exercises to your world, the whole world stands to benefit. Your holiness is the answer to every question that was ever asked, is being asked now, or will be asked in the future. Your holiness means the end of guilt, and therefore the end of hell. Your holiness is the salvation of the world and your own. How could you, to whom your holiness belongs, be excluded from it? God does not know unholiness. Can it be he does not know his Son? A full 5 minutes are urged for the 4 longer practice periods for today, and longer and more frequent practice sessions are encouraged. If you want to exceed the minimum requirements more rather than longer, If you want to exceed the minimum requirements, more rather than longer sessions are recommended, although both are suggested. Begin the practice periods as usual by repeating today's idea to yourself. Then, with closed eyes, search out your unloving thoughts in whatever form they appear: uneasiness, depression, anger, fear, worry, attack, insecurity, and so on. Whatever form they take, they are unloving and therefore fearful. And so it is from them that you need to be saved. Specific situations, events, or personalities you associate with unloving thoughts of any kind are suitable subjects for today's exercises. It is imperative for your salvation that you see them differently, and it is your blessing on them that will save you and give you vision. Slowly, without conscious selection and without undue emphasis on any one in particular, Search your mind for every thought that stands between you and your salvation. Apply the idea for today to each of them in this way. My unloving thoughts about are keeping me in hell. My holiness is my salvation. You may find these practice periods easier if you intersperse them with several short periods during which you merely repeat today's idea to yourself slowly a few times. You may also find it helpful to include a few short intervals in which you just relax and do not seem to be thinking of anything. Sustained concentration is very difficult at first. It will become much easier as your mind becomes more disciplined and less distractible. Meanwhile, you should feel free to introduce variety into your exercise periods and whatever form appeals to you. Do not, however, change the idea itself as you vary the method of applying it. However you elect to use it, the idea should be stated so that its meaning is the fact that your holiness is your salvation. End each practice period by repeating the idea in its original form once more and adding, if guilt is hell, what is its opposite? In the shorter applications, which should be made some 3 or 4 times an hour and more if possible, you may ask yourself this question. Repeat today's idea and preferably both. If temptations arise, a particularly helpful form of the idea is, my holiness is my salvation from this. Okay, so after you've turn your video off and do your first practice session for lesson 39, and we will resume with Jesus commentary. My holiness is my salvation. Lesson 39. Gorgeous pictures. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. This lesson presents very arrogant sounding ideas to the ego mind. Salvation and saving the world, being saved from the guilt, shame, and fear that feels so much a natural part of your consciousness. These occur in everyone's mind because it is a place of separation, a place where you have come because you are mistaken. That's definitely worth repeating. Let me start that again. This lesson presents very arrogant sounding ideas to the ego mind. Salvation and saving the world, being saved from the guilt, shame, and fear that feels so much a natural part of your consciousness. These occur in everyone's mind because it is a place of separation, a place where you have come because you are mistaken. This is not a place of love or connection. It is a place where you get to experience the abhorrent, divisive and distorted ideas in your unhealed consciousness. Remember, you have free will. You can continue to choose unloving thoughts as often as you wish, until you are sick of yourself, you have had enough, or you are worn, weary and tired. Some of you might fall to your knees and surrender. In that surrender you say, I cannot do it this way anymore. I must do something differently. For many of you, that is when these lessons will come to you, when you reach your wit's end. They will come in the final days of your divorce, during a prolonged sickness, when you get tired of poverty, or your family is driving you crazy. You will fall to your knees and say, I cannot do this anymore. Please, God, show me another way. And then these lessons will come to you. They will come to you because you have surrendered and are finally teachable. You see, the ego has control when it says, well, we'll do this and this. We'll fix everything. We'll lose this much weight and we'll get happy then. We'll study for this job, marry that person, get that car or build that house, and everything will be okay. As long as these thoughts go through your mind, and as long as you believe in the world as your salvation, then you will suffer. You will continue on the ego's way until you become thoroughly exhausted. It happens eventually, in one lifetime or another. It happens when you finally wear yourself out. But you do not need to do that anymore. These lessons have come to you to offer you respite from the ego's driving, relentless requirements. It is okay to relax. It is okay to be you. It is okay to fall back into the arms of love. That is what we teach you to do here. We correct your mind and vision. We point you in the right direction. Many of you have momentum going in the wrong direction. You're on your knees in surrender and you're tired. You have had experiences in the earthly realm that brought you to this place. It is not instantaneous, this letting go of the world and seeing yourself as holy. We want you to give up chasing idols and worshipping false gods. You can associate these familiar phrases with chasing money, for instance. To believe in getting that body is a false god because you believe it will make you happy. It will not indeed make you happy. What will make you happy is peace of mind. What will make you happy is knowing you are innocent, forgiven, and indeed holy. It is not easy for you to hear this, but it is true. You become separated from these truths by the teachings in your society, your idols, and the many false distortions in your mind. But we are walking toward love and light, and you feel relief as you do these lessons. They are getting longer and more challenging, but we know that you can rise to the occasion and apply yourself to doing these lessons each day. We are here, our dear one. The channel is here, and we thank you for being here. We will see you again tomorrow. Namaste. Thank you.